Living in an apartment or a condo where the space is limited does pose some challenges for new puppy owners. In this lesson, we are going to talk all about do's and don'ts and important tips to follow when it comes to puppy training in an apartment or a condo. Before we start, be sure to hit that thumbs up and let me know you're watching. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button so you can get notified when next week's video goes live. Michelle here with How to Train a Dream Dog. The most important piece of advice to start with is make sure you do your research on dog breeds that will do well in small spaces. Not all dogs will do well in small spaces or places where there's limited places to potty, play, or get some exercise. Now, some dogs have trouble managing stairs and elevators too. We can train them so they feel more comfortable with these things, but it may pose a serious challenge in the beginning. Keep in mind that dogs bark, some more than others. We can also manage this behavior, but it may become a nuisance for your neighbors if you're away and your dog is barking their head off. Dogs tend to hear noises in adjacent apartments or buildings and start barking at the sounds. Now, you can use a white noise machine to help drown out the noises, but it won't work for every dog. Potty training. That can be a little tricky, but I'm going to share some tips that will help with that too in just a moment. Now, you're going to want to make sure you have a few supplies on hand as you prepare for your puppy's arrival. Since space is smaller than a typical home, you'll want to use baby gates to block off access to rooms that pup shouldn't have access to just yet. Now, I always follow the one room at a time rule. This means we don't give puppy access to the whole apartment or condo on day one. We actually only give access to one room at a time once they have earned it. A puppy earns more space when they are trustworthy. Now, a trustworthy puppy doesn't have accidents or chew on things in the current room or rooms that they've been given access to for at least a few weeks and sometimes a few months. It is important to establish rules, boundaries, and limits in the space so that your puppy can stay out of trouble and work on potty training. Now, I also advise you to pick up every single thing that could be chewed and destroyed. Let's just say that if it's below the height of a kitchen table, it's probably fair game for your puppy to chew on. This includes shoes, work bags, kids' toys, electronics, cords, pretty much everything in sight. Don't make the mistake of giving your puppy too much space too soon. Now, when you're not able to watch them, they really should be in their crate. This is the safest place for them to be in your absence. Now, without a crate, you really are setting them up for a disaster, as they will get into things they shouldn't and excessively bark and build up anxiety walking and pacing around looking for you or something to do. Now, be prepared for the barking, especially if you don't give your puppy enough mental and physical exercise. The more pent-up energy a puppy has, the more barky, bitey, jumpy, and anxious they can be. Make sure you consider if the breed you're thinking of getting is known for being a barker, as this can really drive your neighbors batty when you're away. Now, we often hear stories of tenants being asked to move or get rid of their dog because of the excessive barking. You will definitely need two kinds of leashes. One leash for walking and training and another long leash of about 15 to 25 feet long. The long leash can be used when you're taking your pup out to the park, since you won't have actual fenced-in yard for them to play or romp around in. It is not advised to let your puppy off-leash until they have a 100% reliable come-on command response. Now, I talk all about the games you should play to work on your pup's come command or recall cue inside 30 days to puppy perfection. We also cover all the obedience commands too. I'll put a link to this online at-home course in the description below. We also use the long leash for what we call decompression walks. This is a very special kind of walk where your dog can just be a dog and sniff and explore on their own while attached to the long leash. This is not a free-for-all, and pulling is definitely not allowed. We do work on getting what we call check-ins, where the dog stops and checks in with us before continuing on. Now, since your pup won't have space to race around, you're going to need to provide lots of mental and physical exercise for them. Now you can check out my canine enrichment games here in this video. These are great ideas for mental exercise, and you're definitely going to want to check out this video here all about puppy exercise tips to tire out your puppy. Now, I think one of the more challenging issues that you'll encounter immediately is getting your puppy to go up and down a set of stairs, or even riding in an elevator to take them outside to go potty. Now, most young puppies under 10 weeks aren't physically able to manage large sets of stairs just yet. They have a tough time climbing them, and even more scary is the going down because their center of balance is off when they attempt to climb down the stairs. In the bonus section of the course, we have a stair training lesson that can really help you teach your puppy how to maneuver those scary stairs. Alright, it's best to start at the bottom and reward your puppy for getting on and off just the bottom stair to start. We can add more stairs in as training sessions progress. Now, the idea is not to drag your puppy up and down the stairs or try to verbally convince them that the stairs aren't safe. This will not help your puppy overcome the scary stairs at all. Positive association and training win every time. Now, as for elevators, this should be broken down into smaller baby steps by first introducing your pup to the opening and closing of the doors and rewarding them each time the doors move, but you are not going to enter in just yet. The next step might be to walk in and reward your pup for going in and then walk back out. Again, make sure those doors don't close just yet. Practice approaching the elevator and walking in, and each time rewarding for being in and experiencing the doors opening and closing. Now eventually, you may want to ride the elevator up or down one level, rewarding while it's moving, and then when it stops, the treats stop too. Go slow with this introduction. Pretty soon, your puppy will be riding the elevator like a champ. You'll likely need to play your training games in the hallway before you take things outside. Now, we always want to practice with lower level distractions first before we practice with higher level distractions. Practicing training games in the lobby or in the hallway of your apartment building will be the next best place you practice after training has begun inside your apartment. The hallway and the lobby have a lot less distractions going on in them than everything else going on outside. Outside would be like cranking our training dial up drastically, as all the sights and sounds and smells can be very distracting and overwhelming for a young puppy. Speaking of outside, you're probably wondering about potty training with a puppy while you're in an apartment or a condo. Now, before I share my tips on this topic, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you get notified when next week's video gets released. The first thing I should mention about potty training is most pups shouldn't be heading outside to go potty unless they've had all their vaccinations. I want you to speak to your vet about their recommended vaccine schedule. Many vets don't recommend exposing your dog to places where other dogs or wild animals are, such as feral cats and dogs that haven't been vaccinated, because they carry diseases that your pup isn't protected against until they've had all their vaccinations. This can make potty training just a wee bit tricky. The first thing people in apartments think to use are pee pads for potty training. Well, I am here to tell you this is a very bad idea. We see posts from our students in our Facebook groups every day about their pee pad disasters. Here are a few things that happen the most: chewed up pee pads, pee and poo next to the pad and not on top, refusal to use the pee pads, and a much harder time learning to go potty outside in the grass. We never recommend pee pads at all. Now, here's a video I put together all about that in greater detail. Instead, if you can't take your puppy outside, you can set up a real grass patch in a tray and put it on your balcony. Or if you don't have a balcony, I advise you to keep it by the door you're going to eventually be heading out to go potty outside. You want to get your puppy used to going potty outside as soon as possible, because you don't want to end up with a lifetime of cleaning up accidents in your apartment or your condo. Encouraging your puppy to pee and poop inside not only can become unsanitary, but pup often learns to go in other spots inside as well. Once your pup gets rewarded in the right spot often enough, they will go in that spot more frequently. Reinforcement builds behavior. This means the more you reinforce for going in the right spot, the more your puppy will understand you like it when they go outside or on the real grass and not on your floors. Keep in mind, your puppy really can only hold their bladder 1 hour per month of age. This means that really young puppies need to go potty outside frequently. Your puppy will likely give some sort of signal to indicate that they need to go out. Now, we talk more about these signals inside the new puppy starter kit under the potty training section. Don't forget to grab free access to that. The link is in the description below this video. You'll also find a sample puppy schedule, a new puppy supply checklist, and a bell training lesson in there too. Bell training gives your puppy a way to signal to you that they actually need to go potty, eventually outside. Sticking to a schedule will be the key to potty training success. Never ever scold your puppy, or hit them, or yell at them when they have an accident inside. This will never help them learn where you want them to go. It actually makes them think going potty is bad and that they should probably try to sneak off and do it when you're not looking. Do not take them back over to the accident and rub their nose in it either. This is an outdated, old school, fear-based style of training that is not effective whatsoever. Instead, chalk it up to an oops and limit your pup's space, as well as take them out to the potty spot more frequently. When you do start taking your puppy outside to potty, you'll likely run into a few hiccups along the way if it's a really far distance from the door outside to the potty spot. Another tip to use to keep your puppy on track and out of trouble is to use the tether technique. This means you are going to keep your puppy on a leash and detached to you. You'll have far better control over where they go so that they won't be able to sneak off and have an accident. The tether technique will allow you to catch them doing one of those behaviors to signal that they need to go. We also use the tether technique for other obedience training as well. We can focus more on rewarding our pup for doing the right behaviors instead of getting into trouble and having to constantly redirect them to something else. Now, be sure to have a cleanup carry bag to take with you every time you head outside. In the event that an accident happens in the hallway or the elevator or the lobby, you'll be ready to clean up that accident in a hurry. It should have a garbage bag in it, paper towel, an enzymatic cleaner such as Nature's Miracle, and poop bags. Always bring poop bags out when you clean up and dispose of the poop. I feel really odd telling you this because I am pretty sure you know this tidbit of info, but I can't tell you how many people I see leaving their dog's poop for someone else to pick up. I've actually seen people turn away from watching their dog go as if to act like they didn't know it was happening at all. Not cool. Not cool at all. Now, you also do not want to leave that mess in the hallway for your dog or for another dog to smell it the next time they walk through that hallway. The more your dog or another dog smells urine in that area, the more frequently they will want to go in that spot. So soak up the urine and saturate the area with the cleaner. While the cleaner is neutralizing the urine, that's when you're going to take your puppy outside. It's likely that they're going to probably need to go again or finish what they started. When you come back in, soak up the cleaner with some more paper towel. Okay, switching gears here. So, I want to talk about the last tip to training a puppy in an apartment or a condo. Now, I'm sure you're wondering where your puppy is going to sleep, especially if space is limited. Now, I always recommend keeping the crate on the main floor or in a centrally located spot with easy access out the door for potty training purposes. We don't put the crate in the bedroom as we don't want our puppy becoming dependent on sleeping only if we are present. Putting the crate in the bedroom can be pretty disruptive for light sleepers, as puppies tend to toss and turn throughout the night as well. Now, if you have a puppy who cries in their crate at night, you're going to want to watch this video here, all about how to stop a puppy from crying in the crate. Now, I understand that some of what I've suggested may seem a little inconvenient, such as putting up a real grass patch instead of using pee pads, but these are just some of the things we have to do to make our lives much easier for years to come while living in a smaller space or on an upper level of a high-rise apartment. Alright, in the comments below, tell me what breed of puppy will be staying with you in your condo or apartment.